How did you buck the trend in this economy, the way it's so entrenched with this recession? This thing is actually, a lot of people were saying, oh, this thing's never going to happen. But here we are, we're on the second floor, and there's one more to go. Yeah. And we're, we're mid-March.
But I'd say that it was simply because the project was that good.
Right.
I think that it had a great deal of support for, frankly, a growing populace. You know, as the years passed through the 4.5 years or 5 years it took us to try to get this project through, we actually gained a lot more momentum in the order of the community, and certainly with our support as far as the economy is concerned and trying to get hotels done. It is very difficult. It's particularly difficult to do it in Florida. I think with the uniqueness of the participation with the city and the CRA's interest in the community support, it became somewhat of an easier task, I'll say, to try to get it certainly financed. At that point was easier because they had such strong support.
Now, no doubt there was a vocal minority of Florida Avenue residents. They seem to have, accepted the fact that it's reality, and I know you've done a lot in terms of trying to appease concerns, and it's quieted down quite a bit. How good does it make you feel knowing that it seems to all be coming together now?
Well, it means a great deal, obviously. I think that one of the things that has always bothered people is to have a project talk about starting and then it never come to fruition.
Right.
And nobody wants to go through that much of a brain drain, I'll say, and that much of a charge of time and not have anything to show for it. So one thing for sure is we all put a lot of time into it, and everybody is now pretty excited about the fact that it's becoming a reality and things are moving along as fast as it is.
Now you're based in the Carolinas?
Charleston.
Right. But you grew up here. Tell us about that.
Well, my family's had a presence here for many years. I didn't actually grow up here, but I certainly vacationed here just about every summer.
So it kind of felt like coming home in a way, right?
Right. My mom did go to New Smyrna Beach High School. My grandfather actually came here in the early 40s after his service. And for many, many years, I've always known that this would be a wonderful place for a hotel. I have always known what a strong economic generator hotels are for a community. And as we all have understood, New Smyrna Beach needs it, and certainly Flagler Avenue is going to benefit from that.
Now, as you know, NSBnews.net has been covering this thing from day one.
Right.
When you got your, I was in a hospitality overlay.
Right.
And there's been a lot of meetings, as we've talked about. Satisfaction of seeing the steel and the workers, and it's got to be pretty exciting.
It is extremely exciting, and I think that probably we could have sold these rooms in their current state this weekend, just to have people come in and have some of these guys staying in these rooms, even having construction guys around them. But you're right, it's very exciting. I think that one of the things that we're benefiting from now with all the local travel is people are seeing it. They're seeing it go up. They're saying, can we get involved in that? Can we come next year? We had we have Bike Week now. We have one of the local spring breaks, and then of course a week or so ago we had the big races up in Daytona, and it was a well received thing here. It was very busy here in New Smyrna.
Well, I know one of the complaints too is that with Bike Week, or especially the Daytona 500 and Speed Weeks, the Shriners Convention is coming to Volusia County in a couple of years. There isn't a lot of hotel space itself in New Smyrna. There are rooms and a condo accommodation, things like that. But this is the one key entity for that kind of thing. Tell us about the importance of that in special events.
Well, I think that any of the people that have a presence here in New Smyrna are going to enjoy the fact that now they have a place for some of their meetings, whether it's, as you mentioned, the Shriners or some others.
Before we get to the parking issue in our last segment, I think the most important thing we haven't mentioned so far is right over those trees is what?
It's a big blue ocean.
A big blue ocean. Right. And I would think that would be your biggest draw here for families.
I think the biggest draw here is what is the mystique of New Smyrna Beach, and certainly for a lot of people that is the beach, and for many others it's simply the walking up and down Flagler Avenue and going to the
shops, the restaurants
and whatnot. The ocean is there.
You have a lot of beautiful street festivals.
You see that it's very busy right now.
Oh yeah.
And you go down and unless you're wearing a wetsuit, you're really not getting in the water at this point. It's still a little cold, but it's still a very popular place to be, and I think that it really is going to stay that way for a long, long time. The season is what it is. I think what we have an opportunity to do at the hotel is kind of add to the shoulder seasons a little bit,
right.
and bring in some guests that essentially may not have come otherwise. So
snowbirds and maybe families coming for a weekend.
That too, and again, as you're mentioning, the Shriners and some of these other groups that are having meetings, and maybe bring them in from Orlando and some other places so that we can occupy some of the downtime, what would ordinarily have been the downtime for the Flagler Beach area.